Parking meters stand quietly along city streets, counting down minutes while cars come and go. They are so common that most people rarely stop to wonder why they exist at all. At first glance, they seem like simple machines designed to collect a few coins from drivers. Yet their presence is tied to a much larger story about how cities adapted to a rapidly changing world. Long before parking meters became a routine part of urban life, streets faced a challenge that few people had anticipated. As automobiles began filling city roads, something unexpected started happening to the limited space along the curb. Parking meters eventually appeared as a response to that problem, reshaping how those spaces were shared. Right here on History of Simple Things. In the early 20th century, automobiles began transforming daily life. By the 1920s and 1930s, many people were driving into downtown areas for work, shopping, and social activities. However, most city streets were not designed to handle large numbers of parked cars. Curbside parking quickly became a valuable resource. Workers arriving early in the morning often parked their vehicles along commercial streets and left them there for the entire workday. As a result, customers visiting later in the day struggled to find nearby parking. This situation frustrated business owners who noticed that potential customers sometimes drove away simply because there was nowhere convenient to park. Traffic congestion also increased as drivers circled blocks repeatedly searching for an open space. Cities needed a reliable way to control how long cars could stay parked. The first successful parking meter appeared in Oklahoma City in 1935. It was developed by Carl C. McGee, a newspaper publisher who became interested in solving the downtown parking problem. Working with engineers, he helped design a mechanical device that could measure how long a car occupied a parking space. Drivers would insert a coin into the meter, which activated a small clock mechanism. The device would then count down the time that had been purchased. When the time ran out, an indicator would show that the parking period had expired. These early machines were known as parkometers. At first, some drivers disliked the idea of paying to park on public streets. However, many quickly noticed that parking spaces became easier to find because cars were no longer left in the same spot all day. One of the main goals of parking meters is to encourage what urban planners call parking turnover. Turnover means that multiple vehicles use the same parking space throughout the day rather than a single car occupying it for many hours. When parking turns over regularly, the same space can serve many drivers. A single curbside spot might be used by dozens of vehicles in one day instead of just one or two. This is especially important in retail areas where visitors typically stay for short periods. Customers stopping for a meal, a quick errand, or a short appointment need convenient parking nearby. By limiting how long a car can stay in one space, parking meters help ensure that these short visits remain possible. Parking meters also help reduce unnecessary traffic. When drivers cannot find parking easily, they often circle the same streets again and again looking for an open space. This behavior increases congestion and slows traffic in already busy areas. By encouraging turnover, meters make it more likely that parking spaces will open up regularly. Drivers searching for parking spend less time driving around, which can help reduce crowding on city streets. Urban studies have found that a noticeable portion of downtown traffic is sometimes made up of drivers looking for parking. Systems that regulate parking availability can help reduce this problem by making spaces easier to find. Although parking meters were originally designed to solve a parking management problem, they also generate revenue for cities. The coins and later electronic payments collected by meters contribute to municipal budgets. This money is often used to maintain roads, sidewalks, and public transportation infrastructure. In some cities, parking revenue helps fund street cleaning, traffic enforcement, or improvements to pedestrian areas. However, revenue is generally considered a secondary benefit rather than the primary purpose. If the goal were only to collect money, cities could simply raise parking prices without time limits. Instead, most parking meters still focus on regulating how long vehicles stay in a particular space. The balance between regulation and revenue can sometimes be controversial. Drivers may feel that parking fees are excessive, while city planners argue that pricing helps manage limited urban space effectively. Since their introduction in the 1930s, parking meters have evolved significantly. Early versions were purely mechanical and required coins to operate. Each parking space typically had its own individual meter. Over time, electronic systems replaced many of these older machines. Modern meters often accept credit cards, mobile payments, and contactless options instead of coins. Some cities now use digital systems that can track parking usage in real time. In certain areas, prices may even change depending on demand, helping ensure that a few parking spaces remain available on each block. Parking meters exist because curbside space in busy cities is limited. Without a system to control parking time, a few vehicles could occupy the most convenient spots for long periods, making it difficult for others to park. By setting time limits and encouraging turnover, parking meters allow more drivers to share the same spaces throughout the day. This helps businesses, reduces traffic caused by drivers searching for parking, and makes city streets function more efficiently. Even though the technology behind them has evolved, the basic idea remains the same as it was nearly a century ago. Parking meters are tools designed to organize and manage one of the most valuable resources in a crowded city: street parking. Thank you for watching. If you have suggestions for our next video, feel free to share them in the comments below. We'll be sure to give you an acknowledgement for your contribution. Thank you for joining us on this journey through the history of simple things. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and stay tuned for more stories woven through the smallest details.